So since I don't see that many videos on people actually doing the grinding and drilling of the driver's side perch, thought I'd show you before the motor goes in. You got to measure from the former hole, stock hole, 11/16 to center, and drill 9/16 holes there and there. And then you got to grind these off of this perch here with a grinder, and then grind this down. And I'm going to go ahead and I grounded this down some to clear my oil pump and oil filter housing, and hopefully that's enough. Alright, so I just bolted up the Schumacher conversion mounts, and I figured I've never seen a video where someone's actually shown you when they bolted them up, but anyway, as you can see, the bracket goes on this side of the mounting pads, whatever you want to call them, the block, the casting. And here is the passenger side. All bolted up. Alright, so I now have the motor and transmission in, and everything is bolted up and torqued down. And I don't know if you can see. Just kind of see how that fits in there. But I did run into one problem that I probably should share with you guys. I no longer have a heater box because my blower motor was hitting my valve cover. I've got roller rockers on this motor, so I have to have tall valve covers, and it just wouldn't clear. So, and I don't really need a heater. I don't drive this car that much, and when I do, it's in warmer weather, so not a big deal for me. Plus, it'll probably be this car will be like a street strip car, so I'll take it to the drags quite often too. But so I had to eliminate that. From what I can see, you can run the heater. You won't have to remove the heater box if you have a different style valve cover. If you have stock valve covers, it'll fit just fine. If you have a little taller valve cover, I've seen, like, I think Moroso makes them where they curve down in the back and in the front, you'll clear it just fine then too. But these tall Mopar cast aluminum valve covers, it just would not clear, and I didn't want to do a bunch of fabricating for that, so I just got rid of it. But yeah, anyway, the transmission fits fairly decent up in there. It's a little tight at the transmission tunnel, but yeah, you can use just a regular transmission mount like what you had before. Cross member bolts up the same. Everything seems to fit a-okay there. So anyway, when you're using those Schumacher conversion mounts, I mean, everything kind of just bolts up the way it did with the small block or the slant 6. It's just you're running a 727, and a lot of these cars had a 904 transmission, so the tail shaft's longer, which means my drive shaft over there is no longer going to work. So I believe the yoke is different. I think it's a 26 spline, and these 727s are 30 spline. So I'm gonna have to change that, and then and shorten the drive line, or just have a new one completely rebuilt. I already have an 8 3/4 rear end under this. It's been in the car for quite a while, so no problem there. And my oil pan, that's another thing. If I had to do it all over again, I would have ran a different oil pan. This one I had to trim the lip off of the K-member to get it to clear. So there's like a 1/2 inch of clearance there. Still not sure if my idler arm, this car's a 73, so the idler arm bolts from the top down, and the center link is different than pre-73. So I don't know if it's, I don't know. I'll have to mess around and see if it's gonna hit anywhere, but anyway, yeah. So yeah, I just happen to have another 440 with the oil pan I was talking about. This would be the style oil pan I should have ran on the car, and there would have been absolutely no clearance problems. You can see it's got a relief for the idler arm, and it's got a smaller sump on it too, and the sumps move back a little bit further from the front. But I believe these pans were factory on C-body mopars, I think. And now I'll just talk to you a little bit about the wiring. I've got to do a lot of wiring. I'm changing a lot of things, but for the most part, everything like this, your main power cable, I mean, it's the same length. Use the same length. It'll go down there to the starter. It'll bolt on just like normal. You know, your throttle cable, which I just ordered a new one and just got a new one of those. I'm going to replace that. Wiring for like your alternator, that'll just string down there, you know, attach basically the same thing. I mean, you don't have to change any of that. There may be some, depending on what ignition system you run, if you run the same existing one that you had, you would have to lengthen your distributor connection, because the big blocks, of course, are up front. Small blocks are in the rear of the motor. I'm not going to run that. I run a Pro Billet MSD and an MSD box, so I'm going to have to, like I said, change a lot of my wiring, but yeah. Yeah. I think I pretty much got most of the parts I need to complete this job. Another thing I did notice is on this passenger side, there is no clearance there between that plug and the fender well. So you wouldn't even be able to get a socket on this or anything to loosen it up. Once the headers are on, there's really no way. So I'm just going to cut a window in here so I can get at these two plugs, and it should be fine. I don't tighten plugs very tight anyway, so. But yeah, those were just a couple of things that I noticed. I just thought I'd show you my progress so far. And I will continue to make some more videos as the time goes on and the more work I do. And obviously the finished product, whenever that'll be. But anyways, guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe. And give this video a like. Check out my other videos. And see you real soon.